Welcome back to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. My name is Jane Bellante. I'm so excited that you're here. If you're with me on Mondays, you can be live with me in my Limitless Creators Hub on Facebook. And otherwise, you're watching the replay on YouTube or you are listening on Apple or Spotify. Either way, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I am talking about aligning your identity with fear. And so this is the very thing that keeps you from expanding. Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast, the show where creativity meets strategy and mindset meets success. I'm Jane Bellante, artist, coach, and creative entrepreneur, here to help you break free from self-doubt, clear limiting beliefs, and build a business that aligns with who you truly are. Each week, we dive into the mindset shifts, visibility strategies, and creative breakthroughs that help you turn your passion into a thriving business without burnout, overthinking, or perfectionism holding you back. If you're ready to step into your power, create with confidence, and grow a business you love, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I want to talk about the consequence of fear today. And it's really about like decisions that we make out of stress rather than trust. And also the fact that we really do tune ourselves into looking for potential threats instead of possibilities. And so we keep rehearsing these fear-based thoughts that we have over and over and over and over and over in our brain, right? And then our expectations and our choices and our behaviors align with this energy. And we begin to see more and more and more and more reasons to be stressed and to be anxious. And what we don't even understand is that we are unknowingly sending out this frequency. And that frequency keeps us forever on patrol for outside threats instead of outside possibilities. And when I talk about identity, I am really talking about where you are working from. And it is an internal shift, because if your identity is fear, you are then working from fear. Okay? If your identity is pure possibility, then you are working from pure possibility. And so there are some questions that you can ask yourself, and especially in our creative businesses, right? Because we keep ourselves stuck. We keep ourselves from moving forward out of fear. And that fear shows up as so many different symptoms. I talked about fear the entire month of January. That's how important it is to understand, that if this is where you're working from, that's what you're going to get back. And so we can ask ourselves, like, the decisions that you're making, because we all have these goals and these dreams for our businesses and for our lives. And we make decisions, and generally the decisions that we make are based in fear. So I don't know if I should do this membership group because I'm afraid. I don't know if I can teach this class because I'm afraid. I don't know if I can put my face on social media because I'm afraid. I don't know if I can walk into an unknown possibility and introduce myself to somebody. And so when you're making decisions in your business, I want you to really, really stop and ask yourself, am I making this decision based out of fear or a need to control. Because we can't control anything. And when we do try to control, it takes us out of alignment with trust. Because we think that we need to control the outcome to make us feel safe when everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of that control. It's on the other side of that fear. So, is this decision based in fear and a need to control? Or another question is, am I afraid of rejection? Because if we sit around being afraid of rejection all the time, guess what's going to happen? You will get rejected. Right? What you give, you get. What you focus on grows. If you're focusing on being rejected, you will be rejected. And so I want you to think about this. What if you flipped the switch? Hey, Pam. And what if you were radically allowing instead? What if you were radically allowing instead of being afraid of an uncertain outcome in your business, or instead of being afraid that people are going to reject you? What if you radically allowed instead? Last week I talked about me taking, radical ownership of everything in my business, everything in my life. And it definitely is a process. But if you radically decide, or let me say this, if you decided to radically allow instead of radically reject, the outcome is ridiculously amazing. If we radically allowed and we let everything, people, circumstances, whatever it is, we let everything be exactly as it is without question, we then make room for possibility, and we make room for your authentic self to come in. And if you have not seen your business or felt your business, because that was a big thing for me. I was still being successful, right? Shouldn't say I was being successful. I was still successful, but it did not feel aligned with who I was. And that's where all the stress, all the anxiety, all of that came in. And radically allowing myself to show up as myself has made an incredible difference. I went from working and hustling all the time, all the time. It's all I did, even on the weekends. Always just being so tied to my social media. Somebody, especially when I was selling furniture, painting and selling furniture. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy how fast and furious that business was. And so that really helped me have a habit of being tied to social media. Did that sell? What did people think of that? Did this brand see it? Did that brand see it? Am I creating the best content? It was always never ending. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. That's really what I can say, is I was not radically allowing my true self. I was based in fear. How many of you think that if you don't post on your business page for one day, that it's all over? How many of you think that? And what I want to say is that when you start embodying your identity, It's your creative identity. Like, this is why we started a business, because we want to make stuff and we want to make money from the stuff. And the stuff doesn't matter, right? You could make jewelry, you could be a painter, you could be a teacher, you could have online classes, you could, make soaps, you could be a Reiki instructor. It doesn't matter what it is that you make. None of that matters, right? It's when you really and truly show up as your true self in the creation, that you begin to attract your people, because they see you. They admire you for showing up as you, for having the confidence to be you. And when we build our business on that foundation, like, it doesn't crack. It doesn't crack because you're not pretending. You're not working from fear that none of this is ever going to work. And believe me, I have been there. I can't tell you how many times I said, maybe I should just go get a job, right? And that would suck the life out of me. Kill me. It would kill me. But that is a decision that's based in fear. Like, will I ever do this? And all that stress and all that anxiety comes from fear. And if we just flipped the switch and decided to radically allow instead, it feels better in your body. Hey, Linda, Audrey said, I did think that for a while, but it's not true. Audrey has made night and day difference in herself. And sometimes we do have to really get to that bottom of the black hole to understand it. That's, a lot of times that's where understanding comes in, and that's why you'll hear addicts like, this was my rock bottom, right? Finally you get it. It's like, do you want this pattern to continue, this lack pattern to continue or not? And so if we radically allow and we show up as our authentic selves, the fear then shows itself for what it really is, and it's just a temporary illusion. And I want you to know this. You are not a failure. You are not flawed. And you have made no irreparable mistake. We are all humans, and we are here to learn. We aren't here to be robots. And we think that we're flawed. We think either we're a failure or that we are going to fail. And we think because we've done something in our lives that have to deal with like the growth of our souls, that we just aren't good enough. We're not good enough. And we start to compare ourselves online and we go, well, I bet you she's never done that. I'm bad. Whatever, right? Fear is a temporary illusion. Yep. It is powerful. It is powerful. And when I said a couple minutes ago, like, when you're making decisions in your business, if you just ask yourself, is this decision made from fear, you can immediately go, oh, that's a temporary illusion. What's actually real? What is actually real? And why? And I know why, but I want to ask you, why am I expecting the worst instead of the best? I mean, we are conditioned for that in our society, in the news, in social media, like, the clickbait, all the stuff. We are conditioned to expect the worst. Why are we viewing everything through lack and instead of pure possibility? Because guess what? Both are possible. Both are possible. And God, source, universe, whatever you call it, wants you to express your creativity. I'll bet, that because you're here, you're generally a creative business owner. I'll bet that you want to express your creativity too and make money off of it, right? Ding, 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 like perfect world, right? Perfect world. But we limit ourselves to repeating the same scenario over and over and over again. And what I want to say is when something new bursts through you, instead of repeating this old boring story of lack, we begin to realize startling expressions of abundant life. Like it is all around. And it is this radical allowing and understanding that fear is a temporary illusion. But this is unknown territory as well, because what do we know? We know the fear. We know the lack. We know the comparison. We know the unworthiness. We know all of that. It is unknown territory to radically allow. Right? And what does it feel like? It feels a little scary. But we're not here to stay stuck. We're not here to keep ourselves in the lack hole. We're here to be creative beings, and you can create a business based off of your creative expression, whatever it is. And if you go beyond everything you have ever known, radically allowing, that's the gold. That's 100% possible 100% of the time. It's allowing expansion within, right? Expansion with exploration without fear. And when you feel the fear, you have to tell your body that you're safe in order for you to be able to step into that pure possibility. Is it easy to come, in front of people as your true self and be your true self? That's, that produces butterflies in our stomachs, right? Think about like talking on a stage in front of people, or like you finally posting your art for the first time, or you finally putting your face with your art. Think about that. How does it make you feel? Art, craft, Reiki, whatever it is that you do, right? I'm just saying art because it's easy. Exploration instead of fear. What if I try this? What would happen if I asked this? And then relax and substitute your stress for absolute trust that the universe and God, source, again, whatever you call it, will provide, because you have finally stepped into your truth. You're finally allowing yourself to build this foundation of your business based off of your identity and what you love and what you're good at doing, because that's why you started a business, because you're good at it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this, right? And then we take ourselves down the black hole and decide that, oh, maybe we're not good enough. If you just committed to yourself, and if you just allowed yourself to be yourself and show up as that, it feels so much better. It feels better. You don't have to do stuff that you hate in your business. Like, I know so many people that hate going live. Guess what? Don't do it. I hated sending products out to people. I hated it. No good reason. I just hated it. The second I stopped doing that, freedom. Like, it felt good. It felt good. So Kumu, Kumu, is the Hawaiian term for teacher and source of wisdom. And Kumu teaches us to understand certain truths. I just love this just as it's sort of, you know what a mnemonic is? Like, it's not a mnemonic, it's a Hawaiian term, but like it's something that I can just quick go okumu, right? So it teaches us to understand certain truths, including the realization that we don't have to be limited to what we logically know. Because most of what we logically know keeps us in lack, keeps us in the lack hole. And so we don't have to be limited to that. This is Kumu. So are you willing to listen to Kumu and understand that when we show up as our true selves in our businesses, in our lives, that we begin to attract people that need what we provide in exchange for money? Because that's why we do this, right? This is how we want to not survive, we want to thrive. This is how we want to thrive. This is how we want to be in abundance. This is the exchange. And so, like, what is the energy that you're working from to when you're creating? Is it like no one's going to buy this? Or is it like, I freaking love this, let's go? Two different frequencies, right? We've been talking about branding and your customer and how they do not care what it is that you're selling. They want to know how it helps them solve their problems. So when you trust your authenticity plus your creativity is the identity of your business, that's the foundation of your business, you know, we get to create and be reciprocated at the same time. With ease, with joy, radical acceptance of the situation around you, and you still showing up. Your beautiful and impossible seeming dreams are in the unknown. This is Kumu. Like you don't know. You literally don't know what's going to happen. And when you set yourself up to radically allow situations and circumstances and coincidences begin to line up. We can't logically know the outcome. We can't. You have no idea. And we can't control our blessings. Control only puts us in the black hole. And you'll never be able to control the boundless opportunities that arrive with you when you're aligned with your true identity in your business, when you show up as you, when you consistently be you, do you. You do you, boo. And then just let go. Let go. Coincidences begin to happen. And maybe you've seen that in your life before where just something crazy cool. Oh my God, I ran into so-and-so and guess what's going to happen? This, and we're going to do this and blah, blah, blah. Like coincidences happen when you radically allow. Boundless opportunities happen when you radically allow. You can't control it. Control is fear. So when you're making that decision, I'll say it for a third time, you're asking yourself, am I making this decision based out of fear? And then you can go, fear is a temporary illusion. And then you can go, remember Kumu? I can't control the outcome. I can't control the outcome. And I don't know the outcome. But if you're stepping into it with 100% possible 100% of the time, it's a different frequency than fear and lack sitting in the lack hole. And what you give, you get, right? What if you took action on your most impossible divine mission? Like, what if you did? I did. I did when I started this podcast. I really do. This first time I really was like, okay, I'm showing up as myself. I know that I have a mission. I know I have a purpose. I know that how I speak and deliver information connects with people because, in my people, right? My perfect people, because guess what? I am you. Been there, done that. And it's so easy for me to see in others because I have made all of the mistakes. Like I just said, I've been there, done that. It's so easy for me to spot that in others. And that's why the people that I coach have such amazing results, because I help them to see the truth of who they are. and I help them to align themselves with creating what they want instead of what everybody else says you should do, instead of building a business based on things that you hate, like shipping and going live and whatever it is that you hate in your business that you don't want to do, but every other coach says you got to do that. Well, yeah, get over it, get over yourself, just do it. Like, you don't. When you align with your true identity, everything opens for you. So taking action on your most impossible divine mission. And then you can say to yourself over and over again, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. And it's exciting. Like, oh my God, I love this. Whether it's painting or, jewelry or Reiki or meditation or painting or furniture or crafts, sewing, gardening, creating, food products. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever that is the excitement for you. Like, I love this. This is why I'm here. Ding, ding, ding. It's like the light bulb literally turns on over your head. This is how I transform lives. This is how I solve my customers' pain points and problems. Showing up as you. There's still, challenges along the way in your business, learning how to properly message and market, all of the things, showing up, visibility, all of that, right? But that's what I teach you. I have my 5-day Build an Unbreakable Business in 5 Days challenge coming up on April 7th. I will throw the link in. I don't have it right now. I was not prepared, but I'll throw that in. Get on the wait list. It's April 7th through the 11th. And I'll teach you all the things that I was just talking about, branding, vision, visibility. We start with identity. When we adjust our belief systems to encompass everything you've ever wanted with radical allowing, we stop allowing our mind to create the lack. We stop allowing our mind to create absence of support, because we can understand that when we allow, when we open ourselves up for opportunity, and when we trust, good things start to happen. And I know that some of you here have already experienced this. You've already experienced it. And then knowing that everything that you need will come at the perfect time. You don't have to fear. You don't have to keep checking your bank account over and over and over. You don't have to keep checking social media to see if anyone liked your stuff. You don't have to. You don't have to. Because you trust that showing up as your true self and creating whatever it is that you create, because again, the sign that you got, the ideal you got to start a business doing that is meant for you. You wouldn't create a business out of something that you hated, would you? And sometimes our businesses turn into stuff that we hate, that I just talked about, and that's what I'm saying, really getting aligned with who you are. But you wouldn't have started a business if you weren't excited about making money from something that you create. So if we can trust that everything will come at the perfect time, and if we can stay excited about unknown opportunities, Kumu, unknown opportunities, you can't control your blessings. You can just get an idea and you can go, I'm going to try this. Let's see what happens. And it's not like I'm going to control this and blah, blah, blah. And if I don't make this much, blah, 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 none of that, right? It's just being open to allowing, radical allowing. That unknown opportunities are arriving for you. And I can definitely attest to this. 100%. The blessings keep coming, and they keep coming, and they keep coming, and they keep coming. The more I let go, the more I radically allow, and the more I show up as myself. It's called growth. And that's what we're here for. And it's growth with joy and ease, instead of fear and control. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be in control. I don't want to be in control. Because when I'm in control, I stop myself, right? When I allow, I allow. Crazy theory. So happy Monday to you. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And I will see you live here next week, Monday, and then on YouTube on Wednesday and Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. You can tune in to another fabulous episode of the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. Again, if you know anybody this would resonate with, share it with them. Share it with them because I'm on a mission. And I'm grateful that you are here and part of that mission too. So have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon.